Okay, welcome to 30-Minute Reviews. I'm Adam.
And I'm Peter. I apologize in advance. I'm at the end of a cold, so you might hear me cough intermittently throughout this podcast.
And I'm, what's it called? Um, I am getting over round two, maybe moving into round three of a sinus infection.
Of
So,
AIDS.
no, not AIDS.
I just watched an
Um,
episode of The Office where he gets herpes, and he calls
oh, yeah.
someone, and it's like, I had an STD, and it starts with H, and I'll spell it HIRRPES.
That is a great episode. That whole season
I
is great. That whole seventh,
I think
Michael's
my
last season.
my favorite episode is Classy Christmas Part 1 and 2. It has just it doesn't have like the funniest scenes, but overall I think it's my favorite.
I don't know.
It's just such
For
perfect.
me, I think it's not even the best Christmas episode. That one, I think the best Christmas episode is a Benihana Christmas from season three.
When he marks the Asian.
Yeah, when he marks the Asian, they have the two competing parties.
But this is the one where Dwight gives Jim PTSD through the snowball fight.
That's true. Yeah,
And that's when he dresses up as Pam and is sitting at her desk.
I think the
Oh,
the
it's so
other
good.
really good one is what's it called? The last season, Dwight's Christmas, when it's like
I
he
don't
has his
remember that.
friend where he's like he's talking about how they're doing all of like the traditional rural Pennsylvanian Christmas traditions, and they're and it's like, what, you're gonna tell me there's some guy in horrible blackface that's a horrible racial stereotype? He goes, no, and then it cuts to like the outside of the building, and his friend's walking in, and he gets a phone call that says no, and he just like turns around and walks away, but he's walking in blackface with like the big like lips and all that. It's hilarious.
Jimmy Fallon did blackface on SNL
As did John
because he
Hamm.
just he but that was funny. That was on 30 Rock actually, I
That was
think.
on 30 Rock. Yep.
Yeah. Jimmy Fallon did it because he was doing an impression of Chris Rock, so he did blackface,
Hmm.
and then did not do a good impression of Chris Rock, so it made it
He's
even worse.
Yeah, he's Jimmy Fallon's a little bit overrated, I think.
I'm
That's
happy
fine.
people are more and more people are starting to realize how overrated he is.
Yeah. Um and on that note, let's move into this week's top stories. So we'll start with Star Wars news. Rogue One
It's
has
ending,
crossed $1 billion at the box office.
so it's
So
Hidden Figures.
what?
So it's Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures has not crossed $1 billion at the global box office.
Yeah, in the second week, it got $1 billion.
And the other Star Wars news is now in Knights of the Old Republic they talk about the Mandalorian Civil War between the
Yes,
Jedi and the Mandalorians. That is now canon again,
cool,
thanks to Star Wars Rebels.
good for them.
That's what they're
The
doing now. Is just slow, like, now that I think about it, getting rid of the extended universe was probably the best way to handle
yeah, it's just easier.
it. Because it's easier to tell new stories. Plus, the parts that you like, you can gradually bring back in. Because if you had to pay royalties for everything all at once, that would have been a
It's hard to
bloodbath.
make money.
Right. So you're gonna make more money by now you can introduce Thrawn again. Now you're bringing back the original guy who wrote Thrawn, and now he can get paid again. So like, it makes sense a little bit. Um, let's see what else.
Did you see what Steve Carell tweeted the other day?
No, what did he tweet?
He tweeted, "The Office is coming back to NBC," and then like a couple hours later, he was like, "Just kidding, it's just Will and Grace."
Yeah, that's Oh yeah, well I forgot about that. Will and Grace is coming back for a limited 13 episode run.
Like, yeah, it's a reunion.
Um,
I think I might watch Will and Grace.
it's not that bad of a show if I remember correctly.
Well, it's what's his name? John, the guy who created Cheers and Frasier and
Oh yeah,
all
yeah,
those
yeah.
fun shows. He like is one of the main writer directors on Will and Grace, so that's why it's so good.
Right. Um,
He's like the richest man in TV.
yeah, I think so.
Because once if you direct a pilot of any TV series, Part of the directors like guild rights is that you get royalties from that show for the rest of its life. And he directed the pilot of Friends, so he's set right there.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Jim Burrows.
That's it.
Yeah,
I always call
I think you're thinking of
he's
Christopher
also
Lloyd, who did Frasier and Modern Family.
yeah. He also worked on Cheers.
Right, he may have worked on it, but he wasn't showrunner.
No, and the showrunners of Cheers were the two. I forgot the name. The two brothers, and then
But like, I think there are other probably richer,
I don't know.
TV directors. I think Norman Lear is probably more rich. He got that entire TV cinematic universe of Archie Bunker spinoffs.
Yeah, but those weren't that successful. Like,
I know All in the Family lasted like 9 years on its own.
All in the Family is successful.
All in the Family, Maude lasted a long time. Good Times, which is constantly shown in reruns. What's the other one? The Jeffersons. I think he also did Stanford and Son. I'm not entirely sure about that. Don't quote me on that. I think he did.
That was also before there was money in TV. When James Burrows got into it, that's when people are starting to get paid like $1 million an episode.
True. I think Greg Berlanti might be getting up there, and probably, I hate to say it, Chuck Lorre will be getting up there too.
James Burrows is worth $500 million.
That's very good for a TV director.
Yep. That just started making shows, and then he just kept going and going and going.
Yeah.
What a Norman Lear. Isn't he dead?
Norman Lear, I think he might be dead, because, I mean, he had to have been reasonably old when he created All in the Family.
No, he's still alive.
Oh, he is? Wow.
He's 94.
Good for him.
You were right. He does have more money.
Yep.
It's $700 million.
Just for shits and giggles, look up Greg Berlanti. See how much he's worth. Because he did do the pilot of Arrow and Flash and Supergirl, and Arrow has just reached syndication, so now they can sell it off. And Riverdale and
This is impressive because it didn't come up for me right away. I have to actually go like hunting. Five. He only has 5 million.
Oh, okay.
He basically has it.
And who was the other one?
Chuck Lorre.
Chuck Lorre, yeah. Lorre, yeah.
He probably has a lot.
Arrogant prick.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he does have a lot.
Yeah.
600 million.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because Big Bang Theory has reached Seinfeld levels of syndication.
Well, he literally, like, every CBS show, he's like the executive producer of.
Well, no. He's only on right now, Mom is the name of the show. Mom. He's on he was on How I Met Your Mother. He's not on Two Broke Girls. That's Whitney Cummings.
He did 2.5 Men.
2.5 Men.
Dharma and Greg.
Dharma and Greg too.
Yeah.
He was involved in Roseanne.
Big
That's where you got to start. You got to start in Roseanne.
So did Johnny Galecki.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's true. There was another show that Mike and Molly, which is now off the air. And I think he probably has more than I'm not thinking of, but his shows are known for just lasting a very long time,
and no one knows why.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
where people, like, while it's going on, are like, "Why are we still watching this?"
Exactly.
He wrote an episode. Oh, never mind.
What happened?
It was that the crossover episode between CSI and 2.5 Men.
Oh yeah.
Also counts, like, it counts that he wrote an episode of CSI.
No, but it shouldn't count that he wrote an episode of CSI because it wasn't numbered into CSI's catalog.
That's what it says here. It says writer CSI crime scene investigation.
No, because it only counts toward the show that it premieres during. So I
guess you should write a letter to IMDb.
So like when what's it called? When the Flash and Supergirl crossover happens, it's not 2 episodes of the Flash, 2 episodes of Supergirl. It's 1 episode of Flash, 1 episode of Supergirl. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
the episode doesn't get double counted toward both, even if it premiered on the other show. It wasn't a two-way crossover where the characters from Two and a Half Men went to CSI. CSI went to Two and a Half Men, so it was only numbered into the Two and a Half Men season, not the
Oh wait, never mind.
CSI.
He literally just wrote an episode of CSI called Two and a Half Deaths that didn't have
Oh,
like the people from Two and a Half Men in it.
oh, okay.
It did have Stephen Tobolowsky in it and Dietrich Bader.
Oh, okay then. I stand corrected. Let's see other news. M. Night Shyamalan, who has his new movie Split coming out this week.
M.
Or
Night
it came
Shyamalan.
out. It topped the box office this weekend. And that was it. He said that he is currently working on a new movie.
Doesn't he always?
Yeah, I guess. You want to know what the movie
Like, no. What is it?
is? Unbreakable 2.
Oh, cool.
He's also working on.
Said no one.
He's also
The
apparently
seventh
working
sense.
on. He's also apparently working on The Last Airbender 2, and I don't think anyone wants to see that.
He's part of why I hate him so much is that he tries to defend that movie all the time.
The Last
And he's just
Airbender.
like, yeah, he's just like, no one got it. Like, I was right. Like, I made a good movie, but no one else, like, everyone else doesn't get it.
No, I don't like to give the nostalgia critic too much credit, but did you ever see his review of The Last Airbender?
I don't know.
In between the
I might
dumb
have.
skits where he got Dante Bosco to reprise his role in a live action thing, he's got like there's the one scene when Aang sees all of his past lives, and it's used for exposition instead of being an emotional moment, which is what it should have been. Like, I agree with him on that. Like, that's what that moment should have been. But yeah, so he is working on more movies, much to the hatred of the entire rest of the planet.
Do you know he also has a book called How I Learned the 5 Keys to Closing America's Education Gap?
Oh my god, he's an asshole.
He is just a giant asshole.
Jesus Christ. Speaking of giant assholes, J.K. Rowling opened her mouth this week. Did you
Now
see what she
she's
tweeted on Inauguration Day?
Did she say something about Voldemort or something like that?
Okay, so what happened was, as we all know, on the 20th, and a lot of people I work with didn't know this, Inauguration Day always falls on the 20th.
Yeah, I think it's an amendment.
It's an amendment to the Constitution that always
They used to have the inauguration in like June, and then people are like, "That's too far away. Let's just do it in January."
Yeah, exactly. So, a lot of people work didn't know, but that's not the point of this. The point of this is, on Inauguration Day, a report surfaced, allegedly, that there was going to be a trilogy of Cursed Child movies.
God, I would shoot myself. That should not happen.
And so, the arrogant prick that is J.K. Rowling felt the need to respond to this in the following way. Okay, this is not me bullshitting. This is something she actually tweeted. Although we are looking for something good to happen today, we are not making any Cursed Child movies at this time. Now let's break this down. Number one,
Sorry.
you're British, you're not involved in American politics at all. Number two, that's beside the point. Number two, The Cursed Child was awful.
Yeah.
Like, I've read more bad fan fiction than I should be willing to admit for Harry Potter. This is among the worst. You know why? Because I paid to read it. Like, the fact that someone wrote this is one thing, but the fact that a committee of people were like, "Oh yeah, this is great," then decided, let's pay a lot of money to put this on a show on the West End, then bring it to the United States and release a book copy of the script. Everyone involved in this should be fired.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand. And then the fact that she goes, she thinks it, like, to this day, she still thinks it's good. And she goes, "Oh no, I'm sorry guys, we're not making a movie of that right now." Like, that's the good news I wanted to hear today. Like, Thank you. You're not gonna make me waste my money to go see The Cursed Child, the movie. Like, congratulations. But yeah. I don't have any more thoughts on that. I think I've ranted enough. Let's see. We have Black Panther has started filming.
That's exciting.
So that'll be I think that's gonna be a solid movie. They got like every black actor in Hollywood to be in it, so except for Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who is gonna be in his own solo movie in DC. He's getting a Black Adam solo movie.
Is he playing Black Adam?
What?
Is he playing Black Adam?
Yep.
That's cool.
So he's getting his own solo movie. Shazam's being split in two. One has to be Shazam, the other has to be Black Adam. Let's see. The rights to the Terminator franchise will be reverting to James Cameron in 2019.
Yes, I just saw that also. I guess he's tired of people shitting all over his like babies, so he's going to take them back.
So what he said he's going to do, he's going to have one final Terminator movie.
And then just end it all.
Yeah. One.
That's a good idea.
Who he wants to direct it, though? And he's in advanced talks to direct it?
Alejandro Inarritu.
I'll give you a hint. He is currently up to direct the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Okay, I don't know that.
Last year, he directed a movie that was nominated for a Golden Globe.
There's a lot of movies nominated for Golden Globes.
Tim Miller from Deadpool.
Okay, yeah, I would not have gotten that.
So yeah, and then okay, remember last week we said DC doesn't like to learn from their mistakes?
Yeah.
Guess who's on their short list to play Hal Jordan?
The Zack Snyder.
No.
Who?
Ryan Reynolds.
Perfect.
Like,
that's like...
Wait, like, I don't understand. What part of this? Who at DC? I'm starting to think that there's someone who works for Marvel in DC.
Like, that's infiltrated DC.
And he's just like, you know what would be a great idea? Let's check the wheels on Ryan Reynolds one more time. People seem to love him again. Like, he was one of the reasons that people did not like Green Lantern in the first place, because of how bad that and how bad the CG looked.
Yeah, and that he wore a CGI mask the whole time.
Like, why? Why is Ryan Reynolds even in, like, first of all, okay, the fact that he's even being voiced as an option to play the Green Lantern after last time is ridiculous. Second of all, he's currently involved in Deadpool.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to leave Deadpool to do another Green Lantern movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's ridiculous. They revealed who the villain's going to be in Wonder Woman.
The Patriarchy.
Ares, the God of War. So, I think everyone just guessed that was going to happen, and then, what's it called? Then they just confirmed it this week. House of Cards Season 5 coming out May 30th.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Enjoy House of Cards. Okay, so
now I don't have to rush my rewatching because
you do not.
I finished season 1. I'm on season 2 now. Do you want me to talk about the things I've noticed new stuff in season 1?
I have that at the end.
Okay,
I'll wait till we do everything else. I have that, and I have a review of one of the worst video games I have ever played at the end of the episode this week. Let's see. So we have quite a bit of streaming stuff too. Well, not quite a bit. Amazon announced that they're going to be doing a specific streaming service for anime.
Like the sushi one?
What do you mean? Oh, Crunchyroll?
Yeah, that's it. It says roll, like a sushi roll.
If that helps you, yes, like Crunchyroll. Anime fans are upset about this.
Why?
Well, the only argument I can find that was concrete, and I know it's gonna sound like I'm bullshitting and just being mean, but this is literally the argument I found about why it's a bad thing, is that
Uh,
it's too expensive for people who live in their mother's basements to don't have jobs to be able to pay the $5 a month on top of Prime to use it. That was a legitimate argument that I saw in an actual article about why. I think until Amazon strike is a bad thing. Like,
that's
really
I.
sad. Like, I
But
felt
shouldn't
like,
it be have extra money because they live? Because
well,
they
no,
live in
but they don't work
the
though.
basement. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So poor anime fans.
Yeah. What will they do?
Let's see, and then so you know how we talked about the Switch last week, and we talked about how the Switch does not have a CD port in it, so it will not be able to play DVD.
Yep.
News came out this week. There will also be no video streaming available on the Switch in the form of Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, and all of those other
Wow.
things. They will
Cool.
not be available, but they will be considered in the future as possible add-ons to the Nintendo Switch.
And you have to insert a Netflix cartridge to watch Netflix. It's like the original Wii.
Yeah, exactly. This is. There will be Mii's on the Switch, but they will not be mandatory.
Oh.
This was kind of like alluded to when they showed the new character roster for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it did not have a Mii. The Mii character was taken out completely.
I'm fine with that. Did anyone actually enjoy playing as a Mii?
Probably not. And if they do port Smash for Wii U, they'll remove Mii Fighter, which is fine.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Anyway. After Breath of the Wild comes out, the Wii U will not be getting any new games. So that's that. The Nintendo Switch will have one more, bringing its total release day games up to 3. There's one more game. The Binding of Isaac will be coming out day 1 for the Nintendo Switch. For those of you who don't know, The Binding of Isaac has come out a few years ago at this point, and is getting a Wii U port on day 1. So if you haven't played this game yet and don't want to pay $5 on Steam to play it, you can pay $40 and buy it on your Wii U on your Nintendo Switch day 1.
You have to build your library.
Oh my fucking god, this is getting more and more sad every day. Do you want to intro Roar? This is why I said this would be a short episode, because Roar, there's not too much to talk about. I did watch it.
It's so good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so the background, actually, let me look up the actual people's names so it makes sense. So, Roar is a movie from 1981, and it has a very loose plot. This is literally a movie that people built a movie around something they wanted to do in their real lives. The synopsis is a family goes to Africa to meet their father who lives with wild lions. So, the main guy is Noel Marshall, and his wife is Melanie Griffith, I think. And then their daughter.
I looked it up. She plays what's her name? The mother of what's her name in 50 Shades of Grey. Never mind.
I didn't know that. Okay, and then their daughter in real life is Tippi Hedren, and that's also their daughter in the movie. And the 2 sons in the movie are also their sons in real life. And so in real life, this family had a pet lion that they raised from a cub. And then they decided, no, it'd be a cool movie if we just like film a movie around a bunch of fucking lions and see what happens. So then that's what they did. And they literally just like went to Africa and like got like 100 lions and tigers and jaguars and cheetahs,
elephants,
and just there's elephants and just panthers, and just released them into a house, and then tried to film a movie. This movie took 11 years to film because people kept getting attacked by like lions on the set.
Yep.
There are personal lines in the movie. I also really liked in the beginning when it's just like, Because we worked with wild animals, the animals were also the directors and actors of this movie, so we'll give them credits too. And then they actually credit the lions. And Robbie is like the lead lion in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and that's their line in real life. So that's why he runs over to that lion, and that lion just like rolls over on his back. But it's like just crazy because it's literally like he's walking with this guy and talking, and then all of a sudden, just like 4 lions just charge him and tackle him, and he's like trying to say his lines while getting like mauled by lions. It's one of the only movies to use it uses the most real blood out of almost any movie. Because
it's
you
not
can see,
really by choice.
yeah, when because lions will just jump on people and they're not biting them, but they slash with their claws, and you can see his hands get like ripped up. Oh, everyone's clothes are getting like torn while they're trying to film. The movie itself is fine. The main guy is not an actor; he's a director and producer, and he just wanted to act in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So his acting's not that good. I like when the family first gets there and the lions run into the house with like dead zebra. And then the reaction is, look what the cat dragged in. While wild lions are taking over their house. I liked when the tiger tried to drown that guy, and we watched it. Like, these people come to talk to him in boats, and then a tiger jumps on the boat and sinks it, and then, like, jumps on top of a guy in the water and, like, is holding him underwater. The lions themselves are like fighting each other throughout the movie too. And there's like a bad lion named Targo, and he's like a rogue, and you can always know him because he's literally covered in blood the entire movie. And it's such a weird movie, but it's like just good to watch it because of it's literally a whole movie that's a gimmick.
Like Boyhood.
Like, yeah, but I think I like it better than Boyhood because it's cooler. Because there's fucking lions running around. Like, people got gangrene. Someone was scalped by accident. It's crazy.
Just a little sidebar. I don't understand why Jets fans call themselves gangrene.
It's kind of an insult.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
And they're probably moving to London now, so have fun in London,
what?
Jets fan. Because the owner of the Jets is now the ambassador to London, so he's going to move the Jets to London.
I thought there was something that actually came out. Okay, never mind. That'd be cool.
Oh, and the director of Twister was the cinematographer in this movie, Jan de Bont.
Yeah, I was unimpressed with this movie.
Yeah, it's not just if you just went in this movie or like, oh, I want to watch this movie because it seemed interesting, you're going to be disappointed. Because
I feel like I lost 2 hours of my life that I can never get back. But then again, I also lost another 2 hours of my life trying to play wiffle ball on the DS, and that.
Yeah, the movie just by itself as a movie is not good. It's just good because you get to see a bunch of lions running around attacking people.
Yeah, if you ever want to watch a lion maul someone, then watch this movie because the movie has no plot.
There's real, like, even I'm on Wikipedia now, and know how that gives you like a synopsis and it gives you the plot of the entire movie.
Yeah,
the plot part is only 2 lines long. That's supposed to be the plot of the entire movie because there really is no. They couldn't really have a plot because they couldn't control the animals to do anything, so they couldn't. It's really weird.
We probably should have changed the time we were talking about this movie when with that whole thing, A Dog's Purpose thing came out this week.
Oh, well, they treated the lions very well because the lions literally were allowed to do whatever they wanted.
That's true. They didn't throw the lions into the water to watch what happened.
Yeah, the lions literally just did whatever they wanted to. And it's like, I like also, he's like walking around with the guy, and the guy's afraid of lions for like an obvious reasons because there's fucking lions everywhere and they keep trying to attack him. And then the guy's like, just run at them and it'll be fine. And he like charges one of the lions, and the lion looks at him like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
but it would, like, I don't understand how he didn't die because none of the lions were trained. They were just literally wild lions. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of like multiple people, like lions, jump on them and hold them down, and they're like trying to eat them.
Yeah, this movie, like, that's the thing. Like, all I can really say about this movie is if you want to watch someone get attacked by a lion, then watch this movie. It's
humorous too because there's like parts I laughed that were pretty fun.
Good. If you want to look for something with plot, good cinematography.
Yeah, there's also the cinematography because when the people are filming, they have no idea what's going to happen, so they just do wide shots of like everything
Everything
because they can't actually move the camera around because they don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's and on that note, I'm gonna give this movie a what would you rate this movie? Let's hear yours first.
Um, sorry. Overall, like not just for me, not just as a movie, just as an experience watching it, I think I would give it like a 7.
Okay, the movie itself though, not the
The movie
experience.
itself, I would give this as a movie, I would give it like
A
3.5. Yeah,
Like,
because it's not the movie itself's not good. I also have on the Blu-ray it's the making of it, so I want to
Mhm.
watch that. That's probably more entertaining than
the movie itself.
actual. Yeah, because it'll just be more. I'm assuming just gonna be more videos of people getting attacked by lions.
This movie strikes me as the kind of thing you'd see like, what's that other movie where people died and the filmmaker was Italian and he got indicted?
Francis Ford Coppola, Apocalypse Now,
No.
or are you talking about Hannibal Holocaust?
That's it, Cannibal Holocaust.
Hannibal Holocaust.
That's it.
That one, the director got indicted for murder because but it's because the filming looked so real that they actually thought he murdered people in the jungle because once the movie came out, he made the actors go into hiding so no one could find them. So people actually thought he like murdered people. But he did it. But then they also found out he did watch cannibals actually kill and murder other people, so he got in trouble for that because they filmed that.
Yeah, because that would be criminally negligent homicide at the very least.
Yeah, like he didn't lead people there to get killed, but he was just like, oh, look what I found.
Yeah.
And then they also showed like animals getting mutilated and got in trouble for that too.
But it's a movie like that kind of.
Yeah, this is better than Cannibal Holocaust because I've seen Cannibal Holocaust and that movie is like at least this movie has stuff going on kind of the whole time and like lions are just cool to watch. Cannibal Holocaust, a lot of it is just like people walking around yelling at like natives, and it's really boring for the most part. Like there's just a few like graphic, gory scenes that are cool, but it's just really boring for most of it.
Yeah, I think we should. You know what it is though? We're talking about movies like that are like about animals. They said lions are just cool to watch. We should do like some of those Disney documentaries.
Those are cool.
They're very well made too. The Disney like life.
Yeah.
And they're very good tech demos to show off your new 4K TV.
That is very true too.
So we're gonna talk about. We had 2 major trailers dropped. We were gonna talk about a series of unfortunate events on Netflix, but 2
I did not watch
major.
That yet, so that's good. We skipped
that. 2 major. What's it called? 2 major trailers dropped for March releases. We had Power Rangers, the second trailer, and Logan, the second trailer. Let's do Power Rangers first because Logan, I'm less impressed with, and it makes me. I'm still gonna see it. It just makes me less excited for the movie. Like,
I never liked Power Rangers growing up.
Well, yeah. Well,
my cousin did a lot, and my younger brother did, but I just never got into it. Like no iteration of Power Rangers I ever liked.
I did.
So for me, this movie is not going to do well for me. I know because they're treading a line, like between trying to be nostalgic for people our age that watch Power Rangers, and then trying to get people that never watched Power Rangers interested in it for the first time. And I don't think it's going to work for me at all.
Now, for me, did you watch the first trailer or no?
Yeah, I watched both of them.
Okay. First of all, the first trailer had that the weird walk the line cover.
Wait.
Now the first trailer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The first trailer made it seem like it was gonna be more about like a teenage drama, like what's it called? What was the movie? Project Almanac, was to be like an MTV original movie, like that kind of thing, where it's like very weirdly lit, almost like a horror movie. It seemed like it was gonna be not found footage, but like kind of like Chronicle. Where
it seemed a lot like Chronicle.
That's what it seemed like from the first one. The second trailer, like, made it feel more like what child me would just like be in line to see at midnight at release.
The second trailer had a joke I actually laughed at. when they're glowing, and then the Asian guy's like, "I'm black," and then the black guy's just like, "What?" That part made me laugh.
And what was it when the other thing when she says she's telling her mom what happened, and the mom just takes the cup, goes boom, pee in the cup, and it just cuts away.
There's only one girl, right?
There's 2 girls.
Oh, okay. The second girl doesn't have lines in the trailer, I guess.
Oh wait, no, maybe there is only. No, there should be 2 girls.
I thought that part was weird too.
What part?
That if there's only one girl. Like,
no, there should be 2. I think they're gonna keep it in. I think they kept it in line with the original casting. It just obviously they didn't have the black guy be the Black Ranger and the Asian girl be the Yellow Ranger. That
was smart.
Around. But what's it called? The end of the trailer, they show during the trailer they show off a bunch of stuff that like they really didn't do during the first one, which was like this is like we see Bryan Cranston in this one.
You seen him in both trailers.
He's not in the first one.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's the Wall.
I haven't seen the first one in a while, but like the tone of the first trailer was off, like, and I think it may have hurt the movie's initial box office because the second trailer isn't quite getting the traction to override the first one, and everything about the movie is there's a lot of this isn't what I liked when I was a kid. Like, what's it called? Like they don't like the way the Zords look. They don't like the way like Bill Hader's Alpha 9 looks. Alpha 5. They don't like. I don't know if they like how Bryan Cranston's Zordon looks, but I'm fine with Bryan Cranston doing anything.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that too. I think Elizabeth Banks being the bad guy is weird.
I can already tell you what the bad guy's arc's gonna be. By the way, I'm gonna say this now. I want everyone to be abundantly aware that it is January 22nd. I have nothing to do with Lionsgate. I have not seen the movie yet. Rita's backstory in this movie is going to be there was a past team of Power Rangers that Zordon had, and the only 2 surviving members are Zordon, who's trapped in the wall and is now the mentor for the new team, and Rita, who was the former Green Ranger.
Oh.
Because if you look at her staff, it has a similar little power thingy that what's it called? That all the Rangers have, and her costume is noticeably green. When it was not green. That green in the original TV show. So that's my theory going into this. So, when I'm right, you know that I called it months in advance. But yeah, this movie makes it seem like it reminds me of how I felt about Independence Day Resurgence. Like, this is going to give me exactly what I expect from the movie, and I'm gonna love every minute of it. Like, you're not gonna have the same thing. You didn't like Power Rangers to begin with, but like,
yeah, that's why I feel like I can't like this.
Like, but for me, like, or like, what's it called? Like, this is for me how you felt about Jurassic World.
Oh, okay. I understand
that because like I'm not expecting anything more than to see people in brightly colored costumes beat up people in gray costumes, and then or CG things in gray costumes, and then have a giant robot fight a giant monster.
Yes. Also, what's Saban or Saban?
He's the guy who took the rights to create Power Rangers based on the Japanese TV show it's based on.
Oh, okay. Because I thought that was weird too, where it's like Lionsgate and it's like Saban Group, and then it's just like instead of the director or producer saying like presents, it's just like Saban presents Power Rangers.
Yeah, he's the guy who owns the rights to the American syndication of Super Sentai.
That makes sense.
And now for me going in the exact opposite direction, we have the Logan trailer.
I thought it was fine. It looks like a regular movie trailer.
For me, the first trailer was amazing.
I rewatched the first trailer multiple times because I liked it so much. I'm not going to rewatch this trailer because I'm just neutral about it.
Did you watch the Red Band trailer or did you watch the theatrical?
I don't know. She slashed someone's face and there's blood, so maybe I think the Red Band trailer.
Did it end with Professor X going like, she's 11 and I'm fucking 90?
No, I didn't.
Then you didn't see the Red Band trailer.
Okay. I just Googled Logan trailer too.
The Red Band trailer makes it seem like the biggest thing this movie has going for it is the fact that they're cursing and there's a lot of blood.
Oh, actually, no. There is something about the second trailer I really hated.
What?
When hold on, I can do this. Sorry, I just had a stroke. Oh, when he holds up the X-Men comic.
Yeah.
And he's just like, it's like most of this didn't happen, or like, and it's not true, or something. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's what's it called? And he's looking at his costume. He's like, it sure didn't look like this. Like, okay.
Yeah, I was just like, don't do that, please. It just seems so weird.
But the thing is, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, this is such a cliched thing where he's got to escort the girl somewhere. And I'm like, where have I seen this before? And it's like, there's The Last of Us and...
The first X-Men movie.
Okay. It seems more like The Last of Us.
Like the video game The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Eh.
But I think, what's it? I think this movie, this trailer made me less excited for the movie though, because if the thing you're selling this movie on is blood and gore, when you have a rated R Wolverine movie, and it's gonna be we know it's gonna be the death of Wolverine.
Or is it?
No, it is. Everyone has said, we're gonna be killing Wolverine in this movie. This is his last movie. We are not doing this. And Laura will be taking over as the Wolverine in the future, which is the little girl.
Well, I guess, but won't that in the future?
You know what? I have no idea how they're fucking doing a timeline anymore. But she will be the new face. Laura Kinney will be the new Wolverine.
What about when they do like X-Men in the 90s?
I guess they're just not gonna have Wolverine then.
Okay.
Or they'll recast for that movie, but
or CGI.
Yeah, it'll just look weird. I think the thing with this movie is gonna be, there are a few funny things in the trailer, like in the beginning when she attacks the clerk, and he just grabs her by like, no.
And then he steals stuff too.
Yeah. And then when she's coming out of what's it called? When she comes out of the warehouse after she kills the guy.
Oh, the guy's just like, no.
Like, and she pops the claws. Like, no.
I like her claws. They're cool.
Well, yeah, she got the 2 claws. They'll come out instead of 3, but she does have a 3rd in the comics. I don't know if they're gonna do it in the movie. She got a 3rd on each foot.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's more versatile than Wolverine because now she can kick people and kill them.
Yeah.
What else is there with this? But yeah, my problem is if you're gonna have a rated R movie, don't just make it rated R for the sake of being rated R with the blood, the gore, and all that stuff.
Show some boobs.
Okay. You can do that in PG-13.
Fine.
You don't need... Look at Titanic.
Circle.
You can do that in PG-13. No, what I'm saying is use it to explore more mature themes beyond
like on-screen sex.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Like Caligula.
No, I'm not saying make Caligula, but Wolverine. They referenced Caligula in The Office.
Huh.
In the what's it called? The episode where Caligula. They had the party at Robert California's house.
Oh, okay, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm rewatching it.
Yeah. But yeah, that was after Michael left. I forgot.
Yeah, because he's a new boss.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But he yeah, I'm not saying make Caligula, but with X-Men characters, I'm saying like you have an opportunity to I don't want to say redefine because I don't want to be that asshole, but like, you know what I'm saying, right? You don't have to it's gonna be the same level of storytelling that you would get.
Oh yeah,
in like a regular X-Men movie, but just
more what blood, if they
gore
play
and saying fuck?
What if they play Hurt like 10 times throughout the movie? Wouldn't that
Look, they better play it at least once, otherwise I want to demand a refund.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Also, Stephen Merchant's in it. I
Yes,
wish
he's
he was in the
playing
second film more.
Caliban.
Yeah, his power is he also knows where mutants are, isn't that
Yeah, he's the
his
guy
thing?
from Apocalypse.
Yeah,
So,
he's like really weird.
yeah.
He's like really stupid. That's his like character.
What's it called? But yeah, so I don't know. So final verdict for me would be Power Rangers made me more likely to see the movie. Logan made me less excited for the movie that I'm already going to see.
I'm probably not going to see Power Rangers. I'm probably going to see Logan.
But we're gonna do a beware of spoilers for Logan. That's on our list. Okay, what else do we have on our list? I forgot about that. Talk about House of Cards while I bring up the list for.
All right, like the thing. Okay, so background. House of Cards is my favorite show. Period. So every year since it's been on, I rewatch every season up until that point. It's not that bad because it's only 13 episodes a season, so it's not. And I plan it out where it works out usually. The first season more than any other season, there's a lot of foreshadowing, and like almost every year I pick up something a little bit extra. And I was looking up stuff. Can I spoil things about the show? Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to. So major spoiler alerts for season 2, really. So they knew Zoe Barnes was going to be killed off at the beginning of season 2, and they told Kate Mara that, like, when she started. So when she was doing press for season 2, she had to lie and talk about like how fun it was to be in every episode, basically. And so in the first season, when Zoe figures out who Frank Underwood is because she saw the picture of him staring at her ass, and she starts Googling. She takes a sip from her wine cup, which is a white mug, and there's like wine stains all down the side of it. So when she holds up, it looks like blood spatter, like coming out of her head.
Oh.
And oh my god, there's another one with I should have written it down, but there's like when Peter Russo dies. That's when Claire decides to go back to Frank from Adam Galloway's house. And that's when I realized she didn't go back to him because she felt bad about Peter Russo. It's like that snapped her back into realizing they had a structured plan to like claim power, and that it doesn't like that Adam Galloway doesn't matter. It's just like she needs to get back into the action of it. And then I try to think. There's one more big one. It wasn't with Kate Mara, Peter Russo. I also realized how weird Raymond Tusk is rewatching it this time.
Why?
Like he's a billionaire, but he just has like a 3-bedroom regular house, and like money means everything to him, but he actually never spends money. He just like hoards it, and just how they talk, like when they like he just like he has 8 people representing him in meetings, and they call him with yes or no questions all the time, and he just picks up the phone and does yes or no and just hangs it up again. Like, and then later on he kills a bird, but that's in the second season.
Yeah.
But he's like, when you see his basement, and he has like 30 bird cages, and then one is making too much noise, so he snapped its neck. Oh my god! I'm really pissed off because I had such a good one. Well, let's talk about the other ones I know. Like, in the first season, in the first season he kills a dog. Like that's the opening shot of the show. And then when him and Zoe agreed to not have sex anymore, basically, and keep their relationship professional, she's like, "Oh, you didn't hurt me, and you didn't discard me." And then you hear a dog yelp, and then he's just like, "Well." He's just like, "Well, I'm not finished with you yet," or like, "We haven't finished yet." And then like someone with a dog walks past.
Hmm.
And then there's another time where they meet each other, and it's like their second or third meeting, and they meet in a train station. And then when he's walking away, he's just like, "Be careful, Miss Barnes, you might miss your train."
Ah. The show's very good at foreshadowing.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the theory that they're going to kill off Frank Underwood between seasons?
So, I Okay, so I do kind of believe that. It's like very hard for me to do that because I was talking to someone that also likes House of Cards, but then I also realized when other people watch House of Cards, they are not. Most people watching House of Cards are not rooting for Frank Underwood. They are they're rooting for the secondary characters like Heather Dunbar and
Yeah.
but like the good characters, I guess, to bring him down. And it's supposed to be about like villains fall after power. But when I watch House of Cards, like Frank Underwood's my favorite thing ever. So I do think he might die this season, and I'll be really mad about it. It's going to be probably devastating to me, like on a very deep level. But like, and then you like it makes sense because it's 13 episodes a season. We are at 52. And then, like you said, 2 episodes would make the 2 Joker cards, so 54. And if you go on their IMDb pages for how many episodes Kevin Spacey and Robin Wright are in, it only goes up to 54 for each of them. And then no episode beyond that is like described at all, just that it exists as an episode. So I think they're keeping a secret because it would be very obvious if it was like it showed like Robin Wright 64 episodes, like Kevin Spacey 54 episodes. Like it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, no, I think what they would be able to do is now if they're doing like Lady Macbeth, maybe they could have him like swap the roles. Obviously,
yeah, I did because Claire broke the 4th wall in the latest season.
Yeah, so that's what I'm fine with that. If they have him replaced with Claire.
I just looked up some other stuff. There's one for Doug too, where Stamper. Mm-hmm. Frank hits him with a rubber brick in the head.
Why?
And then Rachel. That's when they're fighting the teachers union, so they get a bunch because Stamper throws a brick through his window. But then he has a bunch of rubber bricks to like throw at the teachers union, and then Frank hits him in the head with one, be like I was rubber. But then that's when Rachel beats Stamper to near death with a rock. That's what they planned out the show, like almost all the way through.
That's always good.
That's like they knew. That's why the first season more than any of them has the most foreshadowing. I just found another one where he's sitting in bed going over stuff, and he has a subway system map on his laptop, and he's like studying it.
I have to rewatch House of Cards. I still have to watch season 4.
The 4th season is so good; it's amazing. Like the end gave me chills. I really like him as president. The 3rd season's the worst season, but I also love it. There's like some good things about it. It's just weird. I also love. You were with me the first time I watched it, and then when you get the episode 8, every time I watch it, I like episode 8 more. That's the one where he goes to the Sentinel back to his college.
Yeah.
And you find out he had a gay relationship. And I remember I was watching that episode, and they do basically outright say it, but it's like somewhat subtle. And I was just like, wait, what the fuck is happening? And then and then the first time I watched it, I hated that episode because it's like, this is giving me nothing. But then every time I watch it, I like it more because it's like, you get a little bit. And the music is completely different in that episode. And at the end, he Stamper comes up to him, and then the music switches right back into what it usually is.
Oh, yeah.
They do a really good job of music and color in that show.
Music is really important in stuff. Like one of my favorite things, if you listen to my review of Doctor Strange, or the review we did back in November, I said one of the best moments in the movie is at the end when he's walking in the sanctum and he goes up to the window, and his character theme from the entire movie morphs into the Avengers theme.
Oh yes.
It's a very good use of music in a movie that you wouldn't really expect that from.
Yeah, the one of the reasons is because David Fincher is one of the executive producers of the show, which is also why he's so good. Because David Fincher is one of the best directors ever. But part of why he signed on is this is also the show that made Netflix and streaming available. That's why it's so important.
Well, it's what brought about original programming for streaming. and made
Yeah,
it
like if
profitable.
this wasn't successful, it could have bankrupted Netflix
Yeah.
because of. But they just let David Fincher. They're just like, you just do whatever you want. Like that's what they went in with the deal was,
Hmm.
and they bought a giant old Macy's warehouse,
Mm.
and they built like the entire set's built inside of a Macy's old warehouse in Maryland. So that's everything's like filmed on location, and
Mm.
like they built like the houses and like hid their house and residence is like built inside of that, and like the stairways are actually real.
That's cool. I hope one day they do like the making of House of Cards.
They
Like,
should. It's probably very interesting. I also heard there's one of the ways they made House of Cards was like using algorithms on Netflix to see what people liked, and like people there was a very high correlation between people that loved the original British House of Cards and movies with Kevin Spacey, and that they were both very popular, and that's part of how they built the show around Kevin Spacey.
ah, I thought it was just I always thought it was because of his performance as Richard III.
That's the main inspiration for the
That's his influence
character.
for how he performs the role. As he goes based on Richard III.
That's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure you can watch the making of that him doing that play
Yeah,
and like their reimagining of Richard III because it's completely different.
because doesn't he play like a general instead of
Yeah, it's more like that. He's like a war hero. The I'm on the House of Cards Reddit,
mm,
and it's a little bit intense. Like
yeah,
I
it
know
is.
people probably think I'm obsessed, but someone posted their 2016 election prediction map for Frank Underwood and Conway.
Okay, that.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just like, what are you? Stop, please,
Yeah.
because you can't compare them to anything really because they're crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
The fourth season does a really good job with technology too, and like surveillance, because his running mate is basically best friends with the equivalent of Google, and they start collecting user information to see how they should like create their election platform based off of people like Google searches
Mm-hmm.
and tracking people. So then Frank finds out, and then he like hires a new head of the NSA basically, and he's like tells him like your new job is to start tracking Americans and tell me what they want, and then I'm gonna make a new platform around that. And he starts using NSA for that. It's really cool. And then
I
the
think
guy that runs that is this like weird older guy, and there's like this one scene where they like cut to him, and he's like blasting a techno music while he's like writing code, and he's like dancing around while he's doing it. It's really weird.
we should definitely cover that.
Yeah,
We should definitely do
yeah,
all of House Cards.
you should.
Maybe we'll do that after. Maybe we'll do after we do what's it called? What are we on now? A series of unfortunate events. The next thing we can do is House of Cards.
I would 100% do that. It's fucking awesome.
Josie may not like that, but oh well.
Oh well.
Um, so let's see. I have one final thing I want to cover before we call it a day. Um, did you know that okay, I told you a few days ago, but GameStop is trying to get rid of all of their old DS games that no one wants to buy. So they have $5 and under DS. So I decided to buy a bunch of them, and we're gonna talk about them every once in a while.
Okay.
So, I decided to start out with one called Wiffle Ball. It came out in 2006 and retailed for $20. Now, the way I envisioned this game in my head was it was going to be like a DS version of Backyard Baseball, which would have
That's
been an
how
interesting
actually when
game.
you said that, that's what the first thing that came to mind was Backyard Baseball.
Now, the developer is DSi Games, which also did the Game Boy Advance SimCity 2000, which was not a bad game. It was actually a very easy version of SimCity to play for someone. You didn't have to worry about plumbing, you didn't have to worry about electricity, and there was a whole bunch of other things that you didn't really have to worry about. It was a pretty easy game to run. Um, Wiffle Ball, on the other hand, is an abortion of a video game.
I just went on to look at reviews. It has a
Yeah.
22 on Metacritic.
Now let's start out. Now the game starts promising when you open the game and you look at you have the selection of characters and there's all these different characters that you can pick from and it feels like Backyard Baseball because you can pick from each character has different strengths and pitching and all that stuff and they all look different. They all have little backstories. So you can pick your character. You can pick your arena if you do quick play, and you can do like at school or on the street or in your backyard and all this kind of stuff. So it's got the right aesthetic going for it. The most important thing in a video game is gameplay. And this game is unplayable. Like, it's physically unplayable. When you look at the bottom screen is how you play. The top screen can show the top-down view of the area, and you can see the automatic base runner. Not base runner, the automatic fielder.
Oh.
Because that's how you play wiffle ball. Is you have one guy who's the automatic fielder, and you pitch the other guy. There's 2 outs, and then you switch, and then it's just like after a certain point. If you hit it past a certain point, it's a single. After a certain point, it's a double. After a certain point, it's a triple. And then you just do math, figure out how many bases you would go, and see if you rounded the bases. Now, the problem with this is, to hit the ball, you have to manually pitch to yourself by holding the A button for 3 seconds. Then, after you hold the A button, the ball will come to you. You have to release the A button at the right time. The problem is the ball curves so much as a wiffle ball does in real life. There's no way to tell when the ball is actually crossing the plate, so you can hit it.
Sounds exciting.
So it's genuinely luck based. So you're sitting here trying to hit this ball. Now after your 2 outs, it's now your turn to pitch. The pitching controls suck because there are 5 different pitch styles. You can curve left, curve right, straight, dip, or rise. When you pitch, you have to line it up. For whatever reason, when I was playing, the computer would hit the ball literally every fucking time.
I guess you're not a good pitcher.
No matter where you pitched it to, or like what curve you put on it, or how you did it, or however you finessed the ball into the strike zone, every fucking time he would hit the ball. For whatever reason, when you control the automatic outfielder, they move slower than when the computer does. So you're basically guaranteed to lose every game. Now, a challenge. If you're a glutton for punishment, there's also a season mode where you can play this.
Just do it over and over again.
Yeah, you can do this over and over again and see if you can win a season, let alone winning a single game.
Have you won a single game?
No, I've played about 7 or 8 games and I did not win a single game. Then there's also an online multiplayer mode, which does not have single cartridge remote play. You and a friend both need to have this cartridge to play. Now, at release, this game retailed for $20. Is this game worth $20? No.
Probably not.
No, not at all. Also, the graphics suck. All of the menus are static. The music are just 5-second loops of the same sounds. And there's no sound effects in the game.
So it's just like silence?
No, there's just music playing on a loop over and over again. So
IGN described the game as an abomination of gaming.
Yes.
And that every step of its execution is a failure.
Yes. I completely agree with that. Now, I paid 89 cents for it. I have the gamer, the whatever it is, the pro subscription at GameStop.
Was it worth 89 cents?
No. If someone handed this to me on my way out of the store and said, "Oh, thanks for your purchase. Here's a free game," I'd say, like, "No, thanks. Keep it." Like, it was
it's not worth the effort throwing it out.
Exactly. It's not worth the effort to throw the game out. Like, it's that bad. So yeah, like, don't even bother with this game. If you like, because really what this selection should be for is, like, let's say winter vacation's coming up. Let's say you're going on a trip with your kids. We have a lot of people who listen to the show who are over 55. So, like, let's say you're going with young kids on a trip somewhere. Visiting the grandparents in Florida, whatever you're doing. And you want to buy them a very cheap game that they can play on the plane, in the car, whatever. This game
learn a life lesson.
What?
Learn a life lesson about frustration.
No, this game is not a game you should buy. Even for 89 cents or 99 cents, what you would actually play.
What the peasants would pay.
Yeah.
That aren't at your high tiered status at GameStop.
Yeah, exactly. I think the next one I'm gonna do is the DS game hamsters with a Z.
Cool. Is that like a spin-off of the puppy game?
Yeah, it's like there's like dogs, then cats. I got hamsters and dolphins.
Cool.
So those are two other ones that I'm gonna try and do for next week. I also got Sega Superstar Tennis, Brain Age 2, and there were a few other ones that were pretty cool. If you have money looking for a game for your kid to play, I definitely endorse Pokemon Sun or Pokemon Moon.
I endorse Lego Jurassic Park.
It's like I just finished Lego Sun. I just finished Pokemon Sun, and that game it's the best Pokemon game I've played since I would say Black 2, White 2. It's better than that. I would say it's as good as Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And I personally think we're not going to be getting Diamond Pearl Platinum remakes. I think we're going to be getting Johto remakes again.
Whoa.
Or at least a Kanto remake that goes also to Johto.
Those words do not mean a lot to me.
Gold is Johto. Okay. Kanto is red and blue.
I need the colors. There we go.
But we'll talk about that maybe next week. So next week our movie is... Do you remember what our movie next week is?
No, you're the one that...
I have it written down, but it's on my hard drive. I didn't copy it to my computer, so I don't have it in front of me. So I'll tweet at 30-minute review what our next week's show will be, because I do not have that in front of me right this second. I do know our next Beware of Spoilers will be
John Wick
Chapter 2, yes. Yeah. And that will be Valentine's Day weekend, I believe. The 11th, I think. Or something similar to that. I feel sorry for all the people that weekend who get stuck going to see 50 Shades Darker.
Yeah, it comes out February 10th. That's a Friday, I think.
That's a big weekend.
That's a Friday.
What's your prediction for winner that weekend? 50 Shades Darker, Lego Batman movie, or John Wick Chapter 2?
Lego Batman.
That's what I think too. Yeah, Lego Batman movie does actually look pretty good. So on that note, we will be back next week with whatever movie we're doing next week. I don't know off the top of my head. I completely forgot. It's not Caligula. We're doing Caligula like in May.
Oh, I didn't even know I said that. That's a really bad. That's a movie that's even worse than Roar.
That movie's just straight porn, isn't it?
Yeah, it was produced by Penthouse Magazine, so there's literal there's like scenes intercut through the real movie that is just porn, like literal porn.
Like The Room.
No, like actual porn though.
Oh.
But it has real, like, Malcolm McDowell's in it.
Yeah, Malcolm McDowell will do anything for $5 and a credit on his IMDb page.
So it'll be fun.
So yeah, we'll be doing that one in May, along with Guardians of the Galaxy, and there's a few other ones back there. But yeah, so we'll be back next week with whatever. I think we'll be doing it Sunday again, because Josie's off on Sundays. So we'll be back then.
Goodbye.